Hey YouTube, been a while, not much to update you on until maybe today. I figured I'd check in to see what's changed in the tank and kind of report on some of the things I've been doing. So last I checked in with you all, I had done some new plantings, and this is kind of an update on that. So the rotella in the back is actually taken off. What's really cool is that where you can see exactly where it took off, because the new growth has the nodes much closer together, and it's a little more dense up the top than the leaves down below, which are more broader and spaced apart. That's really cool, just to be able to see what's new. And we've definitely got a lot of length there that I think eventually I will cut them down and replant them. They work pretty well that way, just to get a bushier plant. So that I probably will do in the next few weeks. The crypts here haven't really been doing a whole lot. They may be melting a little bit too. So I'm not sure exactly what to do. I'm going to talk about something I'm going to try in a moment. Back here with the wisteria, you can see that some great new growth is going here. Very healthy looking. The leaves are strong, reaching up towards the light, and definitely you can see new versus old in there. The Ludwigia surprise plant that I was telling you about, a little bit slower. It's not the roots, I can tell just from some of my cleaning where it's kind of popped up. I've had to replant it a time or two, but you know, it's still going okay, and hopefully it will mature a little bit more as well. I did something with what I believe are Amazon swords, but I'm not too sure. When I first started out, I bought a bunch of plants, not really paying attention to what they were called. Just trying to get in, so these are a rhizome type plant, and the way you propagate them is you can take that rhizome and cut it so that you break it in half, or break off a piece. So what was happening is that I was getting growth on both sides. Can you tell which one's the new growth and which one's the old growth? Yeah, winner. The one on the right here with all that excess algae and diatom that from my original planting is still there, but over here on the left it was all the new stuff, and it's in really good shape. So what I did is like cut in half, and I separated them just to kind of give a little bit more, just to change the look and feel. I also took my Anubia and got rid of the old larger leaves to make room for some of the smaller growth that's coming in that's a little better looking. So the the Java fern, still not doing too great. Not too sure about that. There's a little bit of new growth, but I cut it way back, and it really hasn't done anything to come back. This sword plant here, you can see it kind of behind the banana plant. I'm not sure what it is either. Again, it was one of my original plantings, but it has taken off. Look at the thickness of the stalk there. It wasn't looking much different when I originally planted it than this stuff over here. But this looks amazing, the growth that I'm seeing here. So I've been reading lots, seeing lots of videos about CO2 and how it can really make for a healthy planted tank. Obviously, there's 3 elements that is required for a healthy plant system, and that's light, CO2, and of course healthy nutrients in the soil. But usually one ends up being a limiting factor, and for in a lot of tanks, CO2 is that limiting factor. So I figured I'd just try first a beginner set, nothing special. You know, there's going to be YouTubers out there that do it really fancy, and I really like what they show on their channels, and really shows what you can possibly do. But for the beginner, like potentially you and definitely me, I'm just trying to see what some of the cheap stuff is like. And so what I did, went down to the local fish store here and I got this. This is a, what is the brand? I can't even read that label, to be honest with you. It's something like that. Anyways, CO2 45 gram cartridge. Got a little excited out of the box. I was going to show it to you, but I put the regulator right on it. So a 45 gram canister. The instructions say this should last a couple 2 weeks, but it all depends on the size of your tank and how you got it set. No tools required. Some tools. It's got a ceramic bubbler and diffuser all in one, so you can see your bubble rate and then the ceramic diffuser right here. The instructions say to take this top off and then fill this little spot here with water. That'll help prime it, it looks like, and then get that set up, and then run the tubing through all this and get it mounted, and then yeah, then it's set and forget until of course you want to turn it off at night, because photosynthesis stops when it's dark, obviously. So anyways, I'm gonna put this together, and we'll let you know what I see, and I'll show you what it looks like on the other side. Here's a quick tip for attaching the hose to the regulator. So when you first get this, if you've never seen one of these before, you may not know how to attach it onto this thing, and you might just try to loosen this up. As you can see, it kind of loosens, and you might want to jam it in that way and then try to tighten it. You're not going to get there that way. What you got to do is take the nut all the way off, just like this. Whoops. And get the tube on there directly. Let's see if I can do this one-handed here. One of my subscribers says I need to get a tripod, and I think they're right. That'd make this a lot easier, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's not gonna work. Anyway, so you get this threaded in there like that, then you just you don't have to worry about that, and then you attach this. Let me get the focus right here. See that little ridge there? That's what the tubing has to knuckle over. Once that's there, then you bring the nut and you screw it onto the threads from there, and that's going to create the tight connection directly on the hose. So here you go. So final setup, I tucked it into this corner. I kind of wanted it to diffuse up and into this area of the tank so that my filter output would actually help swirl and circulate it. The book says set it to about 1 bubble per second. That's pretty close, just to see how it goes. And you can see how it's diffusing into smaller bubbles here. But word to the wise, so it takes very little escaping through here to make that work. I hadn't done this before, so I didn't know how much torque it required to turn this on. So when I turned it, I definitely overdid it, and actually it burst down the hose to that connection point between the hose and the diffuser, and it literally popped the hose right off it. So it was kind of a big burst of air, just whoosh, you know, and yeah, that's wasn't the right approach. So be very careful about how you open this. It doesn't take much. Next thing you know, it's just like coming right out. So that's set. Now I guess we'll just see the next few days, see if I see any difference in how green and how quickly my plants grow, and we'll definitely keep you guys appraised. Thanks.